Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. Today we'll be flying the Aerosoft DC-8. I think it's the DC-8 55 if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to be flying the cargo version. And the only reason I'm flying the cargo version is because I'm too lazy to set up my new tool to get all the right boarding music and stuff. So cargo is the easy solution. We won't get the landing rates though, so that's the sucky part. But apart from that, the same kind of aircraft. Just a different derivative, I guess. And yeah, the DC-8, 4 engines. A beast back when it was released. This one and the 707. The queens of the skies before the queen of the sky. Not as popular as 707 of course, but still very popular aircraft used by all the different airlines, Lufthansa, SAS, Finnair, yeah, a lot of different ones. And we're going to be flying now. We're here at Munich, and as you can see it's winter time. And I think it's everywhere around it as well, since we have the Orbex Germany regions, so not for the real. And then we're going to be flying down to LIRF, to Rome. So pretty okay length of a flight, nothing too crazy. Well, we won't be flying with any SIDS or stars since we don't have an FMC, so I'm just going to jump, or actually I'm going to open some things first, just so we have those. Unfortunately GSX doesn't seem to have a profile, so we have the normal and then the main one doesn't seem to have a profile for this aircraft, and I'm not sure if I want to make one because I'm not sure it can separate between the cargo version and the passenger version. So we'll make do with the cargo version for now. Let me just close the lights. As a first things first kind of thing, I usually connect the external power. We have some checklists, but the first thing we want to start with, and that's a definite, is the alignment process, because it does take some time. And we can do it here on position. And let me see, we do want to connect them, and I'm gonna check what we have for the INSS. So we have north 48 to 0. No, that's an 8. God damn it. So north 48 to 0. 9. And I think this is correct, so we can insert that. And then we need east 11 4 6 3. And we can insert that. Now this one I'll have to do separately. But north 4 8 2 0 9, insert, and then east 11 11 4 6 3, insert. So there we go. Now we have those inserted, and what we want to get going is the alignment process. And it does take a while, so that's why we want to be a bit on point here. Get that aligning. Next steps, what we want to do, okay, let me check windshield heat. You want to start that with warming it up. Interesting. Oh, but that's just the checks. If we're doing the pre-start, let me see, transponder radio should all go to standby. standby, and I think we have our, is it this one? No, this is the one, right? Standby, yeah. We have aligned, or we are aligning the INSs, the INS radios, which can stay on radio. It's the one down here. Stall warning, pitot heats, seatbelt signs, no smoking. I guess we can put those on. Parking brakes are set. Rain removal off. Spoiler light out. Fuel shut-off levers off. Wing flaps 0. Autopilot jaw dampener off. Do you really want the auxiliary? Oh no, it's just still the testing ones. What altitude are we going up to? That's a good question. We're going up to 39,000 feet. And I think you don't set these, right? Manually, you don't have to do that. So that's good. Mains and normal. So those are all mains. A bit of fuel. Well, quite a bit of fuel. I did load it up kind of as the weight, just to make sure we don't run out of fuel due to any mistakes on my end. Okay, you can basically put on all of these different. We have one of these on. Well, basically we don't really need to do anything. Guess these can be kept on auto. You can do the fire compartment tests, so I'm just not gonna bother with that. We could do the galley power, but really no need. And basically we'll wanna keep. And actually I'm just gonna put them to off so we have them ready for the start when that's time. So the Freon compressors. Should also be set to off, I guess. Cabin compressors off. Circulating fans are off. That must be the down one. Yeah, that's the only one I can consider being the one that's off. You can do all these tests, right? See how if they're working or not. But yeah, that looks good. I'm just gonna take a quick check. No luck as of yet with getting it to align. Once it hasn't moved forward. For whatever reason. In order to not sulk on that, we can start putting in our, and before we do that we're actually gonna bring up pilot to ADC. We're gonna import our flight plan from SimBrief. Let's see how this works. It always bugs out a bit, unfortunately. But that's good. We don't want a SID. So we can unload the SID. Because we won't be able to fly that. And in terms of stars, we want to unload the stars as well. We can't fly that, so And the way I did that is with this profile. Well, now it hadn't saved for whatever reason, but it's supposed to now be, so they know we can't fly citizen stars. But let's see. And here we have the the waypoints that we should be entering in to make our flight a success. And I am gonna keep it on the side, and then I'm gonna open the flight plan itself, because that one will have the information on our longitude and latitude. The first one is Badvi. So that's number 1. And now hopefully it should be coming to both of them since I have the remote. But let's see. So Badvi is at 47369. And then east 11567. Looking good. Okay, so number 2. And that's Rottenberg. So that's north 47259. Insert. East 11564. Insert. Yep, looks correct. Then it's Tobso, so that's number 3. North 4701. Insert. East 11515. Insert. We're doing number 3, so that's 3. So number 4 is Bakhor, should be a pretty close one as well. North 46365. Insert. And east 11437. Insert. Looking good. Let's see, we'll do the next one. I'm just gonna check. Looks like something is happening. That is happy days. Are we on the right? And we do have external power. That's good. Very good. Some click spots so you can't work. I don't think you can open the window, for example, but oh well. Okay, so we did the Baker one. After Baker, it's a bit of time until Gavra. So this is gonna be the longest one, and that's north 43466. Insert. Still east 11495. Insert. And then we have number 6, which is a Riteb, and which is basically our final one. Oh, sorry about that. And the Riteb is also north. And instead of being 4-3, it's 4-2, 4-1-9. Insert. And then we have east, which 12098. And that's number 6. And that should be sufficient. And logically we could also put in just so we continue flying towards the airport, but I am gonna leave that to... I'm gonna trust in Pilot to ADC, that they will be able to handle that for us. But let's see. In terms of actually doing these kind of departures and arrivals from this one, let's see if we have... we can do, I guess, the runaway, but we can't do a SID. We're taking off from 8 left. No transitions. Okay, so it knows which ones we're taking off from and which ones we are departing from, but yeah, that's about it. And Lufthansa Cargo's call sign is Lufthansa Cargo, so we don't need to change anything there. But what we can do is connect to the sim, and let's see, maybe we can validate the flight plan at first. And it does want to give us a SID, but we can't fly SIDs. Maybe I can just let me see. But come on, what's going on? Why doesn't this wanna... Okay, but let me see now. Can we... So settings, now we want to do this approach. Yeah, I'll need to figure this one out. Luckily we have some time, since it's still slowly and steadily coming down. But yeah, we can't really fly the SID. I'm just gonna pause here so you don't have to wait for this. Let me just check OBS. Okay, let's see, I'm back. I think we were able to fix it. I just removed it after we kind of loaded in, so now we should be flying without SIDs and star. Knock on wood. Here we should be getting vectored, so we should be good, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Let me just check if there is anything. I know now, since we're flying the old one, we should technically try to load some more modern aircraft, or some older aircrafts, because I have that capability, but I'm not gonna take any risks. But look at that, we have a Tupolev 204 here. That's very interesting. I doubt we'll see it, but somewhere at this airport there is one of those. There must be an old flight plan. I would guess they wouldn't be flying to Europe anymore. We'll close all the baggage doors, get ourselves ready. We'll be doing the flight engineering precision ourselves this flight, so let's see a bit how that will work out. I do have a checklist for that, so hopefully it will work. We still have some way to go with the alignment. Could, I guess, have waited a bit longer, but didn't do that. In terms of prior to engine start, fuel tank quantity selector bugs, maximums clockwise. Anytime the center wing auxiliary tank, so center wing auxiliary tank contains fuel, the fuel tank quantity selector for number 2 and 3 main tanks must be set to 1000 pounds below the fuel quantity indicator dial. Okay, so the main number 2 and 3 main tanks. Now the question is, which ones are the number 2 and 3 main tanks? So the ones with M are the main tanks. I guess 1, 2, 3, and that's 4.
Ryanair 23 Uniform Lima, your slot has been cancelled, so from stand 125, push and start approved. Push to point Bravo, QNH.
So we'll try to set these correct. All main tank alternate tank selectors to main, and that's these ones. So to main, corresponding main type we switch to boost and feed, cross feed feed valves to normal, fire shuttle levers normal, and forward auxiliary tank selectors to off. And that one is off. Let's just wait until we get that INS. While we wait, we can actually start, because I need to do the boost pumps to boost and feed, but I'm just going to wait a bit before I put that, but we can talk a bit with ATC. Lufthansa Cargo 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 is cleared to Lima India Romeo Foxtrot fly the Tulls to Quebec departure. Then as filed. Expect departure runway 08 left. Climb to flight level 080 via the departure.
Interesting, he
Expect
wanted to give me a SID.
2 minutes after departure. Munich radar director on 118.82. Squawk 3065.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 is cleared to Lima India Romeo Foxtrot fly the Tulls to Quebec departure, then is filed. Climb to flight level 080 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Munich radar director on 118.82.
Departure.
Squawk 3065.
Okay, squawk
Lufthansa Cargo
3065.
4003 read back correct altimeter 3048 contact Munich apron ground on 121.77 when ready for pushback. Have a good morning.
Altimeter 3048 ground on 121.77 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
3065. I should have said it now correctly, but let's have a look to make sure that it... it didn't update. Very interesting. 30 6
Transavia for Quebec, second left via Bravo taxiway towards the Remo DI-7, hold short of Alpha 20.
5. There we go. We have that set. The altimeter, you can actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can set that in settings. So let's close. Now we should get it correctly. I'm gonna use this one, 1032. And this one should be set on all of them. They should be synced. For better or worse, and they are synced. Good. Now we are just waiting for that to go down to 05, and we have a flight plan. We can go to nav. I will start all engines at the stand, just because I found it a bit hard sometimes to start them, because you really need this manifold pressure, but then you need to be able to kind of get those engines. You need to give some throttle, and since I have I only use 2 throttles, so I used one for 1 and 3 and then the other one for 2 and 4, so it's a bit weird. It bugs out a bit to start. Sometimes it works, but better not to take any risks. And there we go, we're at 05. We can go to nav, and we can start. So that is good news. And let me see, I'm gonna ask them for clearance for that. Lufthansa 4003, ready for engine start.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Oh yeah, cargo.
Engine start approved.
Engine start approved. Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
And let's see if we can have a GSX without them. No, we don't want to do boarding, we want to do pushback. Do you request de-icing? No.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed.
We will start the engine. Let me see, it was boost and fed, right? They wanted all of these. Checklists. Main boost pump on. Throttles idle. Starter and ignition should be armed. Starter button number 3. Okay, let's give it a go. Engine number 3 is starting. Now we have the fuel already set up, so should hopefully work.
Hello Captain, we are ready for pushback.
Can we see which engine is?
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
I think this would be the 3rd engine, right? Okay, well we have it going, it looks good. I think we can start the 2nd one, because we should have enough manifold pressure. I mean, logically what you do, you start engine 3 and then you would start the rest with the help of engine 3, but since I don't want to risk it, let's just start all of them with the ground power and the ground air. Good. Engine 4. And that's a good question, where do we want to go? Sorry, we want to go to the right. We have a bit of taxiing to do. We want to do nose right.
Release parking brakes, please.
There we go, fuel. And then the final one, engine 1. Let's ask for pushback clearance as well. Lufthansa Cargo 4003, ready for pushback.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 pushback approved.
Open the fuel.
Pushback approved. Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Okay, that's good, very good. Now let me see, can we do the... like that, right? Then we can go to 5, right? We can put one of those on. We can disconnect the external air. And I think the external cargo, or sorry, external power. I'll release the parking brake.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are
Well, we
set.
went a bit forward on that. So let's see, low pressure, these should all be on low. Oh sorry, low. Low. The starter ignition arming. You can put that to off. Pitot heats. That's the probe heaters. We can put that to on. Engine scoop to the extent necessary. Blow away jet light. Oh, that's a good point. Do we even use put the lights on? So nav lights, anti-collision should be on. Oh, look at that, 787 I think. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Engines are started. So the general parallel button should have been pushed. Hydraulics check, cabin compressor, and that's 4 of them. We should put them on. Free and compresses as required. Can see the hurt putting those on. Recirculating fans. Oh, here's actually the altitude that we select, right? So if we're going up to 39,000, we should put that in. I guess this one follows the barometric that we set in otherwise. Flight recorder on, but not simulated. Boost pumps to feed to boost. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna set parking brakes. And we need to confirm that everything's gone okay.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
So let me see. Center wing auxiliary tank boost to boost. Center wing to center. So that one should go down. All main tank switches to fill.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
So those should all go to fill. FSK right is clear, good. Alternative switches to off. I think they are off. Okay, and prior to takeoff we need to go all fuel tank to feed only. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Did we put up those for the compass? In terms of taxi lights, and I guess we want to extend them. So those are extended. I guess that would create some drag. Okay, that one is on full power, warm up. Let's see which one we should use, but keep it as warm up for now. It should actually go to on before takeoff, so let's just do that so we're on in the clear. And here we have the heaters, so captain, oh that's the P2A probe heaters, and then the captain pitot, so they're separate. Performance wise, takeoff settings, and we are at the weight of around 206. We are gonna be taking off with a flap 15 takeoff setting because I decided we should. We're at 10 now, and now we're gonna be going to 15. I don't know what our CG Mac is. Can we see that somewhere? 26.3. So we're talking about 2.9. Is that the trim setting? Or is that what we're looking for? So weight, flaps, trim setting of 2.9. That seems awfully low, but maybe there is a... like that maybe? We're gonna want to have the yaw dampener on, if I'm not mistaken. If we have cabin compressors off, let me see if you have an option for cabin compressors on for the takeoff. You do not, so I guess you'll have to put them on after you have let me see now. Pre-takeoff. Yeah, when you're up in the air already, you can then put them on. So I'm gonna turn them off actually, just to make sure we don't do any mistakes. And let's ask for taxi. Lufthansa Cargo 4003, we're ready to taxi. Let's
Lufthansa
see.
Cargo 4003,
Okay, we're getting the
runway
taxi.
08 left. Taxi via taxiways Romeo, Sierra 4, Sierra, Sierra 6,
I'll release
Charlie
the parking
5,
brakes.
Whiskey 1, November 1.
I guess you
November,
wouldn't taxi
Alpha
with
2,
all of these
Mike,
4
Alpha
engines
1,
on a
hold
normal
short runway
basis, but
08 left.
we'll do that now.
Runway 08 left. Taxi via taxiways
It's a bit of an
Romeo,
odd
Sierra
suggestion
4,
on how
Sierra,
we should
Sierra 6, Charlie 5,
taxi,
Whiskey
to
1,
be
November
frank.
1, November, Alpha 2, Mike, Alpha 1.
I'll take some
Hold short runway
shortcuts.
08 left, Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Okay, it's not as far as I thought actually, so that's at least good news. I'll put it down a bit. And we can also start looking at the performance on the separate. So here we are. I see some of the snow coming up behind our wheels. Yeah, let's not crush into that. Would be unnecessary. I'm gonna put this to INS, just because I'm gonna forget that otherwise. The anti-skid is that one, so we'll put that ready. I don't know which ones you want to put the flight director. I just put it on the first one, but I'm not sure that actually does anything. I mean, it removes the red one, but the red tape, but I'm not sure if it adds any ability for the flight director to follow the INS. So that's a bit odd. Let's go start to set some other things as well. We can put that to nav. It really doesn't say how we should be flying. That's a bit odd, but okay. Let's see, maybe we need to get up in the air for that to kickstart. And there we have a A320neo. Pretty sure a bit more modern than what we have here, but we're more of a plane, I guess. Old school. So we should have actually taken off on the next one and then come back to this one, but we'll take this this path, and that looks like an Embraer. I was hoping we would maybe see that 204, but it seems to have just been flying, or maybe taking off or similar, not within our sight. In terms of our altitude, we do max continuous thrust with a temperature of what's the outside one? 1 degrees. 187. Okay, let's write these. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to follow them. So takeoff is at 187. Climb is at 179. 79. At 35,000 it's at 175. And then takeoff speeds. That's a good question. How the hell do you read that? Flaps 15 here, weight, pounds. Oh yeah, the ambient temperatures, right? We need to follow that. So we have 103. Let's actually set these ones. So 103 to 137. So 120. That's supposed to be our V1, so let's see. Yeah, let's see if that's gonna work with flaps 15. 0 flap maneuvering speed. 196, we wanna put that. And the maximum cruise at a flight level almost 40,000. I guess around 1. Cruise at 193. Maybe I'm looking wrong. The rat. What's the rat? Let me see. Rat temperature. Ram air temperature. Okay, so you have to calculate that a bit different. Okay, that's good to know, because I'm gonna guess that it's much more minus than I'm thinking. So let's do 190 for the takeoff. No, sorry, much 191. Let's do 191 for the climb. 190. 190, which increases to 198. Okay, very good. Oh, what was the cruise one actually? The cruise one was 190. $193, sorry. There we go. Okay, let's continue. I think we're supposed to turn here. Ah, looks like a small little pyramid. Or some sort of bunker. Sorry about that. Me turning too much, getting too eager here. We are somewhat ready, so that's good things to hear. 191 for our pressure ratio. Seems a bit low to have a lower takeoff than you would have. But who knows? I mean, let's check maybe what our altitude, sorry, double check here. We're getting all, we're almost at 5. Still has some ways to taxi to go. We should turn right very shortly. Not here, but at least on the next one. Are we at 500 feet? Is that? We are a bit over 1,000. Yeah, 1,500, sorry, that's why. Then it's saying almost 196. So let's go with 196 actually. I just want to make sure we get off the ground without dying. 196, writing that down. And what else? I think that should be good enough. We need to do all the checklist things. Make sure there's nothing we are missing. Doesn't look like there is. Radio altimeters 1,500. The prior to takeoff. All fuel set to feed only. Yes, good. Very good. Then during climb, we'll also need to tweak that a bit. Let's see now. We're gonna get close. We'll soon get the takeoff or the handover to tower.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 contact Munich Tower on 120.5.
In order to be ready enough, we can go to landing lights and anything else. I think we should be fine. Emergency lights are armed. Ooh, I went a bit too far. Lufthansa Cargo 4003 ready for takeoff.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 winds are 047 at 6 knots. Runway 08 left cleared for takeoff, squawk 3065.
And it might be time actually
Runway
to put on
left cleared for takeoff,
these.
squawking 3065. Lufthansa
Now it's
Cargo
working, the code.
4003.
You can even see it on my. So that's good. We have those on. We have the fuel pumps. Nothing else. Anything we need to do with the speed brake? No, we have no auto brake. We are flying old school here. Well, look at that huge A380. That's yeah, it doesn't get more modern than that. Anyone coming in for a landing? No. So it's pretty good. Looks very good, to be honest. Good. Let me just see what we need to do now. We know it's gonna be 190 for the start, for the climb. Let's get away before that A380 decides it's gonna take off in the other direction. Everything is set, trim is set, I presume. We're gonna be turning right, which I would have no clue about. Even though we are supposed to be on the right. But yeah, let's give it a go. Let's try a bit just to get the EPR up first. See that it's all engines, and it's good. That's looking pretty good. Okay. And let's make sure now. Okay. How high do we need to go? Airspeed alive. Thrust set. 100 knots. V1. Rotate. We have a positive rate of climb. Gear coming up. We can start turning to our right. We need to remember to put these on. The cabin compressors. Yeah, that's good. Good.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 climb and maintain flight level 150 contact radar
150.
Climb and maintain flight level 150 radar control on 123.9er Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Let's go to 191. Oh, sorry, 190.
Radar control Lufthansa Cargo 4003 climbing to flight level 150.
And I'm actually a bit uncertain how it wants us to turn.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, good morning. Contact Munich Center on 120.65.
That was a bit of a funny voice.
Center on 120.65.
Oh yeah, the flaps. The flaps. We need to go 0 on those. Okay. We are somewhat stable, so let me add that.
Center Lufthansa Cargo 4003 climbing to flight level 150.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, good morning.
And let me just see how this one is. We're soon at 10,000.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, you are off course. Turn left to heading 160 to return to course.
Heading 160 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
I think that's what they are doing. Let's see if we can climb even more. No, sorry, we need to do it like this, right? Oh, now we're not climbing. Yeah, which makes sense. So it's this way. We don't want to overspeed. We actually do want to lower a bit. Okay. Maybe even quite a bit more. We don't need to risk an overspeed. I think we're flying correctly now. I'm really not sure how to follow the flight director. That's a bit weird. I don't remember it being. Could be because I think the cargo version I have the GTN.
Flight level 230 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Flight level 230. Okay, let's quickly leave it at that. It's following the plan. We can now go to our fuel panel. We have to be quick. Center the wing auxiliary tank to boost. To center wing, main to fill, all others off. All main to boost and feed, boost and feed, boost and feed. When the fuel tank in the center wing auxiliary tank reaches 25,000 pounds. Forward auxiliary, okay. Because it's below that, right? Let's have a look here. Still looking good. No doors or similar has been forgotten open. The only thing I'm not really that big of a fan of is the... I mean, they're kind of PBR for the Aerosoft aircraft, even the A330 and the A320. It looks like I have done it. So that's my only criticism in that regard. Let me see. Okay, and then during cruise we'll have to follow some more elaborate steps. Okay, we're coming up to 23,000 soon enough. We could be climbing much faster. I don't want to climb too much.
Resume navigation Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Okay. Have we gotten any further clearances, or are we just flying up to 23,000? Let's see, once we're at 22, I'm gonna actually start giving us some more thrust now.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, climb and maintain flight level 310.
310.
Climb and maintain flight level 310 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Sucks that with this weather, I mean, we can see the Alps around us, but we won't get the best views. It's a bit too bright out there. Maybe I need to change my brightness. I know I increased the exposure, but I'm afraid it just didn't only fix the cockpit, but it might have changed the outside as well. Okay, we're still climbing. Yeah, we need to go up quite a bit to get to a good, and we can actually start to climb a bit slower. 2,000 should be sufficient. Now we're doing 1,800. And let's see, I think this one will show I think that's minutes, and that's nautical miles, right? Something like that. Okay, I think we can increase actually our... let me see the checklist. After takeoff, landing, radio altimeters. Landing gears retracted. Climb airspeed, maintain, seatbelt and no smoking. I guess we can put those two off, even though it doesn't matter. It's only me and the co-pilot. Fuel management as required, boost and fed. We can go to the standard barometric pressure. That shouldn't be a problem. And let's see, I'm gonna guess we're gonna be getting up till 39,000. I have a hard time seeing that they'll create a fuss about that. In terms of climb thrust, since we're getting higher and higher, we're maybe talking about 198 instead. So let's I know I'm not really following it to the dot. Let's get that should be sufficient. And we can actually climb a bit slower. Let's have a look outside. We can start to see a bit of the mountain ranges. very beautiful when you land in Munich and it's a very clear day and you can see the Alps.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, good morning.
Okay, still looking good. We have approximately, what's it saying, 200 nautical mile? We're flying over, is it Innsbruck or we're flying close to Innsbruck? Very close. We won't be flying over
Lufthansa
Innsbruck, but
Cargo
right to the left of it,
4003, climb
or
and
right of it,
maintain
I
flight
guess.
level 360.
To the east
Climb
of
and
it to be.
maintain flight level 360 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
360. And that's actually the cruising altitude we have according to the flight plan, so let's maybe aim for that. Oh, what's going on here? Why is that not on auto? Jesus Christ. Why does it always have to go something wrong? We're on auto. Are we turning yet? What's the... Ah, come on now. What's going on? Let me have a look.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, you are off course. Turn right to heading 210 to return to course.
Heading 210 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
What's going on? Let's see. We're also soon gonna be at the top. And what did they ask us? Heading 214, right? Yeah, which makes sense, because that's where I would be going. I don't know why this one, 2... Can we get it to go back to nav? Let me check. Will it follow now? Is it gonna work? Why is that on alert? Let me see if something changed up here. Nav. Did we go too fast? Now we're almost at 36,000, so let's... Oh, and we are actually...
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 contact Milan Center on 124.9 or 2.
Center on 124.9 or 2 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
I need to check the... maybe we have the Siva Ins manual, right? What does the alert?
Center Lufthansa Cargo 4003 level at flight level 360.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, good morning.
But why can't I switch this? That's the...
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, you are off course. Turn right to heading 210 to return to course.
Heading 210 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
I don't know why it's gone to manual on this one. So... let me see, maybe I can find it here on manual. It should be auto. Let me see if I can fix this situation or if we have to, or at least flying somewhat correctly, but the waypoint is at least updating. But if we're doing manual, can we... can we get it at least to change manually? That's the main question. Which is our fourth waypoint? That's Bay Course, the one we're going to right now. So let's see. I'm gonna throttle down just a tiny bit so we don't have any risk of overspeeding. Gonna move this out of the way, and then I'm just gonna try to figure out why this one went into manual mode. And what's that noise? Is it the altitude? Fuel?
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, you are off course. Turn right to heading 200 to return to course.
Heading 200 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
200. Yeah, we're not having a good flight day. There we go, auto. Jesus, what's going on? Okay, can we do this one to auto? Not that. There we go, auto. Might be a little bit too late. And let me see. What's the beeping? Is it the altitude one? Oh, there we go. Let's see a bit how this works. Okay. Now that was the maximum airspeed. Let me see. Aerosoft DC-8 beeping. On the pressure. So it's not pressurized? Is that the... Let me check. We're still climbing though, so it should be pressurized. I hope. Okay, that one. How is it not pressure? Maybe I missed did something. To low, so manifold pressures need to be on low. Oh, you're supposed to only have the 2 on for takeoff and then the other 2 when you have a chance, so you have enough. Can it help to... I don't want to go too high. Yeah, I'm not the best at managing pressurization settings. Hell, I can even barely manage the INS since it's deciding to screw up on us. Seems to be still doing something right, so I'm just gonna let it fly. Like it's doing right now. Might work. Sorry about that, guys. We are missing the beautiful Alps beneath us. Some weird photoreal, but apart from that, looking good. And we can go actually to much lower speed, and I think originally I had in mind... I'm gonna check again what the performance is saying about cruise. It's suggesting something much lower. I'm at 166. I can't go much lower than that, can I? I wouldn't say so, at least. Lights. So that's a bit of a mistake on my end. We should have retracted those long time ago. That will give us quite a bit of, or lose some drag. What else? Oh, fuel panel. That's the one. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. So, all main tanks boost switches should be to feed only. Apart from that, when the fuel lever in the center wing reaches 3,000 pounds, which it has, I guess. Oh wait, in the center wing auxiliary tank, number 2 and number 1 quantity sector bugs 18,000 pound. Number 1 and 4 fill switches to off. Okay, we're just gonna do this the best way we can. When the fuel incendiary is exhausted, which it basically is, center wing to off, see if we can get this to off. Alternate tank boost swamp switches 2 and 3, so these are the alternates. 2 and 3 to on. Number 2 and 3 main fuel tanks switches to fill. They are in fill. And fuel in main tanks number 1 and 4 reaches 7,500 pounds in main tanks switches 1 and 4. So we still have a bit to go. This seems to be our largest tanks, first and 4. Then we also need to use the alternate boost tank switches. Okay. But we should be fine now with the setup we have. It's basically almost exhausted. We have a bit of fuel there. I guess I can leave it. I'm not sure if you want to go totally empty. Not sure how the system works in that regard. A bit of lag. I usually get it around northern Italy. I guess it's because a lot of cities. It's a very developed area in Europe, actually, northern Italy. More akin to Austria and those nations compared to, for example, southern Italy. Anything else? I think we're fine for now. We are traveling somewhat aligned with the INS, so hopefully it is working, knock on wood. We'll see once we get to our top of descent and Gavra, so we should be turning a bit to the left. Let's see if it does that or not. But good, I think we're fine, barring any unforeseen circumstances. We can soon start planning the landing, and I'll just go and take a...
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 resume navigation.
Well, look at that. It's just, I guess, because we're now at the right, close enough to navigate ourselves. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Let's see a bit what the situation is. We have
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, expect the ILS Whiskey approach to runway 16 left at Fiumicino Airport, maintain flight level 360.
Oh, we've lost a bit of our...
Expect the ILS Whiskey approach to runway 16 left, maintain flight level 360, Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
I'm not even sure what we're following now. Since the INSS seems to have stopped working on us, annoyingly enough, not the end of the world, we will fly the old school way instead. I'll turn a bit back. We'll fly the heading one. Really don't know what happened with these INSS. I mean, something went or forced them into manual mode, unfortunately. Which is not the best, but could be worse. I'm gonna put these at 7.5.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, you are off course. Turn left to heading 155 to return to course.
You wouldn't have to do this much if you're doing a long one, right? There will be less things to do. You don't want to fill the first and the second, or the fourth one. Heading 155. I can turn a bit, I don't want to do anything too drastic either. As long as we get a bit closer, should be fine. It's a bit hard though when And I still think it's because I have the GTN. I need to remove it from this one. I don't think I have it on the passenger version, and that's why I feel like that one works better. But let me see. Could be just that we were unfortunate. Maybe I populated it a bit wrong, and that led to the INS screwing up. I'm not too... I know how to put in a flight plan and that sort of stuff. I don't really know yet how to update it using VORs and similar. There's so much to learn, right? Oh, look at that. An EasyJet. God, we're getting a lot of close bys. That's
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 descend and maintain flight level 280.
280.
Descend and maintain flight level 280 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Okay, let's do descent to 280. We can really pull back, and then we'll start a descent of around 2000 feet per minute. Should be good. Annoying though, because I'll need to use my since I can't really follow anything here, unless I could hook up to a VR, right? Might not be totally wrong. Maybe we can put LIRF. Oh, they don't have LIRF. That's jolly. Let me find LIRF on my documents folder. I do think I have it here. I hope I have it. Some version of it at least. How the hell have I done it otherwise? Let me see, LIRF charts. But look at that, I did have some. I was able to find a LIRF chart online, so we'll save that. And the main reason why I'm interested is because I want to see if there's a VR for LIRF. There usually will be.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 resume navigation.
Or close by.
Resume navigation Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Yeah, but we can't. Let me see. Latina 111.2 might be our best shot. Let's see if we find something with a 198. I'm gonna change to that. Let's try 198. Will that be a reasonable VOR? I think so, considering... Well, from Riteb we're gonna be flying actually on one... But Athena is a bit further south. Let me check. Actually, maybe I can see VORs from here. We have so Ostia, and that's 149. Hope that's a high frequency. Seems like we're getting still something. And then 172. Oh, pretty good. Pretty decent. At least this way we'll know we're kind of heading in the right direction. Very good, very good. We're still... Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I've been moving a bit crazy. 280, we're descending to reach 280, which we'll very soon do actually.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 descend and maintain flight level 200.
Descend and maintain flight level 200 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Okay, 200. So we're descending over beautiful Italy here. Still looks pretty good. And I think if I don't, we should turn a bit to the left. It's around 163, I think we should be. So let me just move a bit. Okay. Sucks that we didn't get the INSs this time. I know I can get them to work. Maybe I press something. I'll have to watch the replay myself at some point. See if I can find it, you know, maybe a key bind or similar. Let's have a look at the these. So we still have alternate. We should we should hopefully be able to make it without any problems. Okay, we should have enough fuel. Okay, quantity low on alt 1 and 2, that's fine. Okay, looks pretty good. Number 2 and 3, fine. Do we need to change some of these main ones though? That's the question. Doesn't look like it. Nothing about crossfeed either. Guess if you wanted it to be spread out a bit more for balancing reasons. Still looking good. What's the... We have about 100 nautical miles. Maybe we can prepare some things from LIRF. Already we know it's 16 left if I haven't totally. So we're doing 16 left. The ILS, right? I know they have URs, right? But ILS, ILS, ILS. 16 left. Here we go, 16 left. We have the ILS, it's at 181. And in order to have some use 18, so 1 or 1081 to be correct, 161. Let's write that down. So 1081 is the ILS at 161 in terms of course. Minimums is at, sorry, I'm gonna move up, don't need to just see the, even though I guess that is interesting to see the instrument panel as well. Minimums at A, B, C, maybe C, 289. TA at 6,000.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 descend and maintain flight level 120.
Descend and maintain flight level 120 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
20. I'm gonna pull back a bit more on the thrust levers. Let's have a look at our checklist. before starting descent. Set landing field altitude. What's that? It's 14, it's very low. And landing field altitude, you set that somewhere here, right? Landing field altitude. That's a good question. It's definitely not here. And not down here either. Which one do they want to move for that with the checklist? Cabin pressure control, set landing field altitude. So is this the cabin pressure controlled? Windshield heat as required, approach descent, fuel cross field, all tank fields closed. Interesting, so all these fills ones should be closed. Main boost tanks switches to off unless below 5,000, then there should be on feed. That's very different than what the but I guess we don't have any input on what we should do towards the landing stages, so maybe best to follow the checklist in this regard. So all tank fill switches to off. Main tank boost pumps off and feed below 5,000. We can keep these on feed. These two off. Anti-skid armed. Takeoff EPR determine. I guess that's for go-arounds. Blow away. Ground cooling. Shut off. Button. Out. That doesn't add up. Maybe it wasn't that button. Not gonna push any more buttons. Main landing gear spoiler inoperative. Off altimeter. Set field barrow. Exterior lighting as required. Radial altimeters. I guess we wanna set that to R. Actually, this one should be the highest, right? God damn. Let's see, we are at 2, like around that 290. We're almost at 10,000 feet. We can slow down even more. And also arrest the descent a bit. We still have around 60 nautical miles to go according to pilot to ADC. So let's see. It's looking very, very beautiful, apart from the little red line that goes here.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 QNH is 1027 descend and maintain 3,200 feet.
QNH is 1027 descend and maintain 3,200 feet. Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
200 feet. Now we need to actually slow down quite a lot. So let me see if I can pull back. We can get to start to beat off some of that speed. Weather-wise, I think it looks good. Let's see what the destinations. We don't get any info. It does seem to be a pretty good day out there. Yeah, we're getting the right altimeter because we have active sky as our I actually changed that, got it to work, so Pilot TDC is taking active skies information, so we don't have any issues in that regard. Approach, descent, anything else we need to set? Fuel selectors on main. That's fine, they're on main. Approach, descent checklist, altimeters, pressures, seat belts on. That's a good one. Let's get the seat belts and no smoking. Hydraulic pumps. They seem to be on, so it's fine. I guess the galley should have been on. We can have the radio switches. Okay, we are slowing down. Very slowly though. Let me pull back a bit more. Now we can increase the descent rate a tiny bit. No smoking, wing flaps, yada yada yada, autopilot and yaw dampener off actually. So for the landing we should not have yaw dampener. That's interesting, I didn't know that. I wonder if it's the same with the DC-9 and the MD-82 actually. That's why you should really learn your airplanes, right? Might make a huge difference for how you're able to land or not able to land. Let's actually already start the switch to the right localizers and courses, right? What's that? That's 161. So we'll put that in. I'm gonna put back the vertical speed so I can see that. I find that to be more useful. We need to fly a bit more based on our... Now we still haven't gotten the approach. We'll get it soon enough, I think. But let's pay attention. In terms of doing anything else, I do think it's looking relatively okay. Okay. Yeah, coughing like some old smoking pilot. Let's see, we can increase a bit our descent rate. 1,200. Let's do 1,400. Let's pay a bit of attention to the... I'll pull down a bit on the speed. Looking fine in terms of fuel generally, so that's good. We're below 10,000, so we should have landing lights on. We can see the Mediterranean already. And some nice rivers, or sorry, not rivers, my god. Some nice lakes. We have a bit of a larger one in front of us. I'm gonna a bit arrest our descent, just a tiny bit. Trying to keep us so we don't go too low too fast. We have, I guess, been clear to 3,200. I mean, we have pretty good visuals, so it shouldn't be a problem, but let's see. We haven't yet gotten the... I'm actually going to turn a bit to the right. So it should be clear to turn. I'm just looking at the approach. But we haven't heard anything yet, so that's... Oh, activate approach maybe? That could be the problem. Jesus. Okay. Can we request vectors to approach? That would be approach request. ILS.
Center Lufthansa Cargo 4003 request vectors for the ILS approach to runway 16 left at Lima India Romeo Foxtrot.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 contact Rome approach on 127.905 with your request. Enjoy your afternoon.
I need to get used to having to activate the approach thing.
127.905 Lufthansa Cargo 4003. Approach Lufthansa Cargo 4003 request radar vectors for the ILS Whiskey approach to runway 16 left.
Okay, any luck? Come on.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 turn right to heading 190 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 16 left at Mysenal Airport. Descend and maintain 3,200 feet.
Turn right to heading 190 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 16 left. Descend and maintain 3,200 feet. Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
What's our landing speeds? I need to check that as well. We have the Mac cruise numbers, which we could have long range fuel planning.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 heading is 180.
Stalling speeds, flaps 50.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003, you are 21 miles north of the airport. Fly heading 180
That's
to
good,
intercept
let's keep that
Clear
as...
for ILS Whiskey approach to runway 16 left.
God, no, I wasn't listening.
Tower on 118.7.
Fly heading 18.
Fly heading 180 cleared for ILS Whiskey approach to runway 16 left. Tower on 118.7 Lufthansa Cargo 4003.
Okay. That's probably loading in the airport. And we're soon at 3,200. So let's pay some attention to that. We should be down to 2,500 actually. And I think that's the case even if we look at the LIRF chart. So we want to go down even further. But then we can do actually altitude hold. Well, let's pay some attention to that. Okay, we're not. I'm gonna add a bit of thrust. I'm trying to figure out what's the limitations here. Maybe to say 230 knots. So let's keep that in mind. Once we turn into final, I think we should...
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 contact Rome approach on 127.905.
Approach on 127.905
anything new with our fuel?
Cargo 4003.
Nope. And it wouldn't be because we're descending.
Approach
almost
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 inbound
what we want to be.
ILS approach runway 16 left.
Lufthansa Cargo 4003 continue ILS to runway 16 left.
Continue ILS runway 16 left Lufthansa cargo 4003.
Okay, we can go to approach. Let's see, we're gonna go a bit. I'm gonna add a bit of thrust. And I'm gonna
Lufthansa cargo
put that one
4003 QNH is 1027 at Fiumicino Airport. Contact
at altitude hold. Oh, but look at this. Are we gonna lose?
QNH is 1027 tower on 118.7 Lufthansa cargo 4003.
I'm gonna add a bit more volume for my own sake, not for you guys. I think you're at a good setting, but
Tower Lufthansa cargo 4003 inbound for ILS approach runway 16 left.
yeah, we should be on approach.
Lufthansa cargo 4003, good afternoon. Continue ILS to runway 16 left.
I want to keep
left,
autopilot
call when
on for
established
now.
on final.
Continue ILS runway 16 left will call when established on final Lufthansa cargo 4003.
Almost established on final. I'm gonna drop the gear so we can get some. Let me just check the limitations here. So we can go up to 25 already, basically. That's good to see. Excuse me. Anything else we need to start? No, we have those things set. Checklists. I guess the spoiler, we can arm the spoiler. Slow down a bit. What's 35? That's around 198. So we can basically go flaps full already. Still descending, which I'll do at least for a bit longer. Gonna add a bit of thrust. Just to make sure we're not going too slow. This is how it looks from the outside. We're maybe a bit too early. Already a bit too early, but that's okay. I'm gonna remove the autopilot. Sorry, like that. Add a bit of more thrust. And a tiny bit more. Yeah, let's make sure we stay on the localizer as well as the glide slope. Can maybe tweak a bit with the trim. That should be a pretty good. I'm gonna pull it back the thrusts a bit. It's always good, easy to forget when you have 4 engines, right? You get double the thrust. It's quite easy to overspeed, and I guess also underspeed in the sense that you have those 4 engines to create drag as well. Okay, and let's see, we're getting closer.
Lufthansa cargo 4003, winds of 09 or 7 and 3 knots. Clear to land runway 16 left.
We should be able to go very slow actually for landing, but let's play it a bit safe and come down around 140, 130 knots. I don't want to stall. At least not just at the end. That would be a bit of a bummer. I think we got landing clearance. I forgot to say we were established on final, so a bit of my mistake there. God damn. We should do a go around, but I'm not gonna. I don't respect the AI in this game. They would never be sent out like that. So we're gonna do this. Okay, almost down.
Lufthansa cargo 4003, exit runway when able.
There we go.
Clear of active.
Let's add those thrust reversers. You can hear those up and about. I will brake so we can take off at this one and let that Alitalia or whatever they're called nowadays take off. Let me see, we don't need Whoop. Are we getting the spoilers up? Yes, it does look that way. Spoilers are still extended. How do you get rid of their extension? Oh, there maybe, and now... Yeah, now we can get them off. Happy days. So quite a clean flight. It wasn't the worst. The weather was pretty good, so that does help. Is this another runway? How many runways are there? Let me check. Maybe I should have gone further, but those are coming from that direction, right? So it feels a bit risky. And here you can really see the difference between the A320 and the 737 in terms of how high from the ground the A320 is compared to 737. It's crazy difference. Well, that's interesting. Yes, there is 2 runways. Okay, we'll taxi on this. Let's say we got clearance for that. Lufthansa 4003 ready to taxi. Oh wait, maybe I didn't. Lufthansa cargo 4003 ready to taxi.
Lufthansa cargo 4003
Aerosoft. But that's another brand. That's another brand.
Ground on 122.12.
Let's go to taxi lights already, even though we are on a runway. I guess that other plane must have taken off by now. So yeah, fun flight. I'm gonna close pilot to ADC, nothing to see there. But a pretty decent flight. Apart from the INS braking, it was quite fun to do all these this controlling of the fuel. That is a treat. Having to do that. One should really do like a long haul. Now though, I'm a bit skeptical of the INS. I haven't had that happen to me before, that weird manual switch, but I'm gonna assume it's pilot error on behalf of or with me as the culprit. But let's see. Let me just brake a bit so I can go quickly to the engine, because we wanna do the third one also. I wanna keep that on fill for some reason. All tank boost switches should go off after engine shutdown, which I guess makes sense. Let me zoom in a bit. She's a beauty there, the Aerosoft DC-8. I think the Just Flight one though, texture wise, just beats it a bit. I'm hoping to fly the 70 model of the DC-8 that Just Flight has. That one has like FMC and stuff. It's super long. I hate to land. I don't think I've ever been able to land that. But maybe once I was able to land that somewhat reasonably. It's not as fleshed out, I would say, system-wise as the Aerosoft one, but it's not bad either. I mean, if you put in an INS in it, it would be equally good. I guess the Aerosoft one has some nice things like rain on the windshields and those thingies, but yeah, that's about it. Let me see, where can we park here in this airport? I'm really unfamiliar. I've been to LIRF, but it was 15 years ago. I've been in the game, of course, but I never bothered to really check. I just followed where all the other aircrafts were standing. I mean, maybe we can just park here with these other ones. There's probably some... Yeah, probably that was the cargo terminal. So, unfortunately, we just missed it. God damn it. But yeah, we're not gonna do any kind of deboarding or similar. So it doesn't really matter. We're just gonna park it here for our own sake, and then we'll watch the replay and then wrap up. It's a really fun aircraft to fly, though. It really feels clunky, like, you know, old school. You know, you don't have force feedback or anything in that sense to kind of make you feel that, or at least I don't have a yoke like that. Thinking of getting one, maybe one day. That would be amazing. But you do. But you do still feel like, in terms of the response you're getting from in the game, you can feel it a bit kind of old, clunky, not as smooth. I mean, it's definitely not flying computer-wise like the Airbuses, right? Now I forgot what that's called, right? But it's fly-by-wire, right? That's the name. So yeah, here we are, a disguised cargo. Let me just put on that so we get the ground power, and then I'll start shutting them. Yeah, a disguised cargo plane parking with the rest of the crew. So yeah, well, very interesting. You can really see kinda. I mean, it's a very long plane, but not as wide. I could see it DC-8 cabin actually. I think it was 5 abreast, right? So that's actually a bit of a huge. I mean, if we're looking at all these pictures, right? That's. I mean, if we're comparing to the 707 cabin, which is 3 abreast, quite different. But yeah, the DC-8. Then I think this is the 5.5, right? Beautiful airplane. Scandinavian, Japanese, Iceland Air, so many different operators. Don't know if Finnair ever flew with this model. It might be that they didn't actually. Lufthansa hobby plane. But yeah, it's a pretty one. Let's have a look at the landing. I'll do 460, and that was not enough, so we'll do 520. This should be enough. Let's see how much we can actually. Yeah, now we won't see the plane, so it will look like a flawlessly executed landing. The flap seems to be working. They're coming down, or they were done in reality, but I guess the replay function isn't the best. I'm mostly interested in seeing. I mean, it was a bit of a battery. I should have come down a bit sooner. I'm too focused on buttering my landings. Look at that, should have flared a bit more. Pretty nice. And then we're getting the nose down. Look at that, we can even see, hey, that's pretty cool. So this aircraft, you can see everything in replay. That's very nice. Let's see if we get them closing the thrust reversers as well. Yeah, look at that. So very cool, very mechanical in a sense. And I'm gonna close there. But yeah, so that was it for the flight today. Hopefully you enjoyed this short Lufthansa video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Hoping to do some more flights with these older planes. I'll try to do them from time to time. The only thing is that they require quite a bit more focus, right? And then if you don't fly them for a while, you'll forget and maybe mess it up, like with the INS today. Even though, of course, we don't know if that was something on my side or just the plane had a bit of a hiccup. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the day. Until next time. Bye bye.